Record 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. So, hey, everybody. Here we are for the second episode of the Melbourne Independent Filmmakers Festival video podcast. I'm your host, Eric Emmerich, independent filmmaker and one of the army of the MIF. And we just started doing this podcast last month and had the founders on, the founder and the technical director, Terry Cronin and Bill Williams. And today I have with me the lovely and talented Miss Robin Krasny. Robin, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. It is an honor and a privilege to be here 25 years later.
25 years. Now, Robin is, her resume would take too long for this show to go through the whole thing. But for the MIF, she has been the center of our entertainment at our party every year with her singing and instrumental flute playing. And also, she is the red carpet chief, if you will, and does that better than anyone I've ever seen do it. That is a hard job, and she does it wonderfully.
Thank you. We do a live show on the red carpet, with people coming in, and it's broadcast into the theater. And over the years, Eric, this has been, 25 years ago, we didn't even have the technology we do now to have a live show streamed into the theater. So this is all kind of evolved and emerged over the years, and it's remarkable how far we've come as a
It really is. I'm going to actually go right to Robin on the red carpet so that you can all get a sense of how she works it. Check this out.
Star Award this year because we both won last year.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yes, you're passing the torch on. It's like you're giving the crown to somebody
I think this is about 2015 or 16.
Oh, you don't want to give up your crown, do you?
Yeah, I like that dress. I judge everything in the MIF by what dress I'm wearing or how hard it was to get in and out of it.
Right.
We play.
I think from the MIF, yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's crazy stuff.
Yes, we are. Well, not all, but yeah. Somebody.
We'll just go a little fast.
Wrestling in small towns where
that's a big guy.
Jeez. Movie called The Wrestler.
I haven't seen this.
That's pretty on the mark on some things, but I wanted people to know that there were still a few places out there that cater to the market of 8-year-old little girls to 80-year-old grandmothers, where there's no cussing allowed on the mic.
Oh, really?
No, there's no.
To have you here, especially.
We'll just skip along a little bit here.
Yeah, pop it on. Does this? I think this is the 13.
Oh my gosh, Stephen Shea.
It could be the 13. I can't remember. Yeah. I had up the 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I just kind of picked one.
Well, did she do the red carpet that one year of this little blonde girl? No. The one year of the pandemic that I didn't make it because I was taking care of my father.
It wasn't her. It was somebody else.
It's another cute little blonde.
There was somebody else, yeah. She did a great job. Yeah, she did.
She did a fabulous job, and I realized how easy it is to be replaced, even after 25 years. So
I don't know if that's true, but...
Well, I'm just saying the show is going on.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that my music partner, Eddie, of 26 years, who started doing this MIF with me, we did it together as a team. He passed away from COVID, from not getting vaccinated. And so it's been weird the last couple years without him, kind of figuring out how to do the MIF without Eddie. It's like, going without your arm kind of, but he was such an integral part of everything that we did. And there's Eddie, my music partner. Yeah, he did an album with Denny Doherty of the Mamas and the Papas. You guys might remember the Mamas and Papas.
You got to be a certain age.
But it's surprising how many young people are listening to that music, though, because it's good music. Yeah. So Denny and I and Eddie used to sing together, and he sang on our CD with us. And we've produced CDs, we've done movies, we've done all kinds of charitable work. We've done performances from California, Canada, New York, Texas, even.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird not having Eddie by my side, but I feel him there with me, even though he's not there to just bounce off of. Eddie and I had a very bizarre chemistry that worked because we were so opposite of each other.
Yeah. It can still work that way. Yeah.
It's like oil and vinegar. They don't mix, but they make a great
They taste
stuff.
great together. Yep. Yep, they taste great. Now here you are presenting the Robin and Eddie Spirit Award at the festival. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, we were working on awards and superlatives for the film festival, and I just felt like this one, I think it was during the Eye of the Dolphin, maybe,
Okay.
when it showed, I was so blown away at the spirit of what it took to engage the production, to finish it, to the vision of the writer, the producer, the director, and how they do it with very little money. And I was just like, well, this is like the Robin and Eddie Independent Spirit Award for independent filmmaking. And we were like, yeah, that's a good idea. So thus was born the Robin and Eddie Independent Spirit Award. And I'm blessed to be able to give it out in Eddie's and my honor, for the filmmakers every year, because we have an independent spirit. That's what makes us want to create new stuff and combine things that never were combined before, and come up with something brand new. And so we consider ourselves independent music makers, and there's just a feeling of respect, deep respect, that I have for anyone who attempts to tell a story on film or on music. There's a lot of work behind this.
There's a little bit of work. Yeah. Yep.
A little bit.
There's a little bit that goes into it. Yeah. And it's, for anybody, you've been on sets. I mean, you've done makeup on a couple of my short films, I remember, and acted. And I mean, so firsthand what it takes.
Yeah. And I've co-produced, I've co-written, I've co-directed, with Michael Baumgarten, who's one of our filmmakers here that I've known for years and years and years and years. And I got to a place where I was doing script supervising on films in Orlando. I was acting because I had a small part. I got killed off. So the director throws me this book and he says, here, do script supervising. And I was like, what? So I had a book, I read it. And the next thing I know, I'm doing script supervising on a film. I mean, in independent filmmaking, Mikey B calls me a Swiss Army knife, because he'll just throw any kind of gig my way and I'll do it. Of course, the one that he did throw me that wasn't really in my wheelhouse was, what was I, production coordinator on Martial Arts Kid here in Florida.
Kid, yeah.
And that was and this is a very important role, and there are people who are so good at this. It's being in an office all day and pushing paperwork and SAG forms and all different kinds of insurance things. And it's not my.
It's one of the few things not in your wheelhouse. One of the few things.
Pretty much.
Because, like I said, if we had to reel off everything that you've done and that you're good at, we'd be talking all day long about this.
Yeah. I started in the film business, and I just realized, I was going to say, when did I start doing this? I've always been acting up a lot. I have 4 brothers, so what do you expect? But then when I was in college, I graduated with my psychology degree and then went to University of Florida. I got all my healing arts degrees and everything. And then I got in a car accident, and I was on my back for a year. And I decided, if there's one thing I would want to do that I haven't done, what would it be? And I thought, film acting. I live in Florida, Podunk, long time ago. And just then my girlfriend calls me and says, hey, there's this acting teacher that just moved into Florida, and he's teaching film acting. Would you like to go with me? She'd drive. I'm like, sign me up. So the next thing I know, I'm in James Best's film classes for years. James Best was Roscoe P. Coltrane on the Dukes of Hazzard, and he also was our celebrity guest many, many years at the film festival. He and his wife, Dorothy. Sadly, he's passed away, but he gave me a great learned beginning. And I've been able to continue in many realms because of his education, and he knew every job on the set, and he was very good at communicating all the different jobs. So
he was terrific.
That's when I started. 88, 88, 89.
Oh, was it? Okay. No. Okay. Well, what about with the MIF? Did you start right at the beginning in 98?
People like to ask me about time. And to me, I'm like, I live in a timeless kind of zone most of the time. Eddie and I got together in 1995. And then not long after, when did the MIF start? I mean,
98. 98, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So Terry did it a year or two before Eddie and I jumped in it. Okay. But we were there when we did it at the Henniger Center for the Performing Arts. We were there every time we moved venues or changed it, but we found a home at the Oaks Theater, the premier Oaks Theater Premier 10. And I've got to say that the man who owned it, he and his wife and his partner, they welcomed us with
Yeah, they
open
did.
arms. And this is not something that's very normal for a theater to do. With Rob Kuros, really good friend of mine. He had vision and he
Yeah.
was creative and he loved to support the arts. So that's why the Premier Oaks 10 is the place where we go to do this film festival. They've been very sweet to us over the years.
They really have. Not many festivals can claim to have that kind of relationship with the theater where, they go out of their way to help us. They even do our ticketing for us. You don't want a ticket to the MIF, you go through their site
Oh,
and,
that's awesome.
their box office and get it right there. It makes it so much easier on us, every year. We don't have to deal with that. So it's the 25th year. Hard to believe. I mean, I've probably been involved as a volunteer for 9 or 10 of those years. I think I submitted my first film about 15
You've been
years
there
ago.
you've been there forever. And,
Yeah.
Our festival, it's so unique. Don't you think the Melbourne Independent Filmmakers Festival is unique in so many different ways?
It is, because it's more than a festival. It's really a community event because it is for charity. And, we do give a little, preference to the Florida filmmakers, which I think most festivals of this ilk, if you will, do for their local, filmmakers, but not to the detriment of any other filmmakers. We have a great international portion, which I love. Yeah. And,
yeah, me too. And the fact that we've featured movies that have actually gone on to win much bigger awards at other film festivals.
Mm-hmm.
We've been the first to show some of these films, and so for me, being a part of the MIF is just like being a part of this town, Melbourne, that I was born in. Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few.
So I'm here, and and we're
What?
bringing the film festival and all the films here instead of having to go to LA, which I love LA. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I don't want to have to live there. I want to still be able to do creative things. And this town and the MIF crew, you call them the MIF Army. They're more like MIF Angels to me, because you guys do all the legwork and the background stuff and make me look good. Bill Williams of Cut Above Video and all these guys that, me being able to float around and do the things. Sometimes I don't get to watch all the films, which saddens me.
Well, yeah,
but
there's a lot of films. I mean, we are above. I think we've already gotten over 60, and usually by this time we're in the 40s. I don't know why we're getting so many more this year, because on average, pre-COVID, we were getting 120, 122 films. We're on track probably to get 140 or so this year.
Well, you remember people sat around and got creative during the pandemic.
Yeah,
and
there's that.
There's that, and excuse me, I'm going to shift my position. So yeah, I mean, people really got creative. Some people got, like Eddie and I were writing songs. We were doing recording in the studio. A lot of birthing is going to come out of this, I believe, the creative birthing. And that's what we celebrate here at the MIF. We celebrate filmmakers. We celebrate the fact that what it takes to get one done. And when the filmmakers come, I think they feel and they know that we treat them differently than other film festivals. Don't you think so?
I think so. I mean, and I can, because I've been a filmmaker who's gotten in. So I've gotten in other festivals as well. And I don't miss anything from the other festivals that I get here. This is this festival hasn't wrapped up. It really does. So let's talk about you. What are you doing now? What's going on?
Gotta hand it to the boys. Moi?
Yeah.
I'm in the process of doing a YouTube channel. As you know, Eric, I do a lot of things besides musically perform, creatively write, do poetry, do music, do my own music. It's kind of sad that all of our song babies are gone because of Eddie's being gone. A lot of people don't understand that when he left, he took a lot of the music with him. But I'm still doing my own music and working on this YouTube channel. where I
Okay.
teach a breathing technique that helps people to get centered, calm, connected, and plugged in 3 breaths.
Nice.
It's super good for people who perform or have to be 3, 2, 1, you're on. You know, you
Mhm.
want to plug in. And so I teach people how to plug in through various exercises, breathing methods, help actors. I have some students with Parkinson's. I have someone who's in a wheelchair is taking voiceover lessons with me. Oh, I do a lot of
Okay.
voiceovers too.
Okay.
So these are just some of the fun things I do,
All
as well
right.
as body
Great.
work. I do,
So we're
I
looking
do massage.
forward then to the MIF. I'll say it again. I think it's going. I know it's going to be October 5th through the 7th this year in 2023 at the Oaks Theater on Hibiscus Boulevard in Melbourne. Um,
Hmm.
and Robin is
What
going to be
about the
there.
tickets? We don't know. Yeah, I will
The
be there with a new dress.
the
Although I
the
really like that purple dress I wore last year.
There you go. The tickets
What this?
generally they don't go on sale until a few weeks before, but they will be
Okay.
available at the Oaks website, the Premier Oaks website. You can get the tickets there, and they have. I can't say for sure what we're going to price them this year. Last year there was $65, got you into everything. You can't get a better deal than that for 3 days of film
No, and
festival.
we've been yeah, and haven't we've put on the best VIP parties after the big deal. We've put
Yeah,
on performances and food and free beer and wine, and it's all to benefit this wonderful charity. And
yeah,
Laura Gosselin, God bless her, and her
yeah.
sons. They have
Hmm.
cerebral palsy, both her boys, and she started a school for kids who are severely handicapped. And we have been benefiting. Our festival is completely for charity. I think we're one
Hmm.
of the only festivals around ever around the
I
world
don't
that
know
does
of
it
any other. I don't know of any other that does that. No,
for charity. And so
no.
Laura and her school called the No Limits Academy has been receiving the blessings of the
Hmm.
MIF and all the people who come and enjoy the film. So it's a good thing for everybody. It brings the community together. It inspires our creativity. It bonds us as a community, and it uplifts along the way. So it also is a way to network with professionals if you
Yes.
want to get into this business. So I've seen a lot of things happen from the myths, like people meeting so and so and so and so, and all of a sudden, boom. So
Yep.
careers have taken off from the myth, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
And there's just nothing like seeing your work up on a big screen. There just isn't. If you've toil in this and you do this and you just think, well, it'll just be on YouTube, it'll just be on Vimeo or whatever, and then you go to the theater and you see it up there, and it looks our team does a great job in the
Yeah.
technical aspects, making it look and sound great. And then you see it up there. That I don't know of anything more motivating than that for a filmmaker.
Really
Um,
special.
you know,
It's really, really
it
special.
really
And
is.
I was thinking about the one of the first films I did, films, and where I was the script supervisor. And that was like so long ago. I got my head cut off in the movie. It was kind of a horror movie, and very much a horror movie. Low budget. It's where I met Michael Baumgarten in the first place.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about how that was produced with such a low budget and everything, and we it was I thought, no, this film is never going anywhere. Number one, they killed me in my own car. My car
Uh,
bled until I sold it. Yeah, there's so many stories in the filmmaking world that are funny. I could share with you without giving away people's names. But anyway, they killed me in my own car. It was really low budget, and it was a hit in like Japan or something because they like these little horror movies.
okay.
25 years later, 27 years later, I'm getting emails from these people who are fans of The Night Brings Charlie.
Okay.
They literally watch these movies as a genre. And he was asking me all kinds of questions about my character and all this stuff. I'm like, I really don't think the script writers went that deep when they were thinking about Debbie Del Vecchio getting her head cut off, really. So anyway, it's really fun to talk about films 25 years later. Talk about delayed gratification. The film world is all about delayed gratification.
Hmm. It really is,
Isn't it?
and you never know how people are going to interpret your film. I mean, I guarantee you, it will not be the way you think that that you do. It'll be some other way, and it'll be very interesting and very enlightening. Usually,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it's storytelling. It's storytelling, and music is a big part of that. So,
Absolutely.
People that are putting music and soundtracks and songs to their movies, that moves the story too. To me, that's
Yep.
a huge part of it. So,
Absolutely.
God bless all the musicians writing and all the filmmakers who are doing it, and all the actors and crew. Everybody that it takes to make a film should be celebrated, and that's what our film festival has done for 25 years. And I'm very honored to be a part of it. And I'm grateful to Terry Cronin, Dr. Terry Cronin, and all of the boys of production and the angels like you, Eric and Bill. It's really something. I think it's a feather in a cap for a Florida community like ours.
It is. It is. It's a definite asset, and we're trying to get with this podcast, trying to get more of the word out there year round instead of waiting, just a few months before, and try to keep it in the
Talk
public.
to me again. I'm sure I'll have another story I can tell you.
All right.
Film set.
Sounds good. All right. Well, Robin, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna call it a night here, and don't forget the MIF, October 5th through the 7th this year, 2023, at the Oaks Theater. Be there or be square.
See you on the red carpet.
All right. Thanks, Robin.
The champagne carpet. Bye.